Hey everybody, Voltas here, coming through your speakers, and I am back. It's been a little while. My regular life got kind of busy, but I am glad to be back in and casting. And today we have a Terran versus Zerg matchup on Tal'Darim's Altar. This is part of IEM Kiev. I didn't do a lot of research on that tournament, but I know that there's a replay pack of these two battling it out a few times. Not sure if I'm going to do the whole replay pack. Maybe just start with this one and go from there. This is on Tal'Darim Altar, and let's introduce our players. In the lower right-hand corner, wearing blue, it is our Zerg player, DIMAGA. And he is from the Ukraine, so this is a European, a foreigner, so to speak. When we talk about the StarCraft world, a lot of times we'll call anybody outside of South Korea a foreigner. Kind of odd, but that's the way it is. And for more of a local native, the Terran in the upper right-hand corner, we have our red Terran, MMA, Slayer's MMA. You've probably heard of Slayer's Boxer. Slayer's Boxer is actually quite involved in his team that he developed, and he sponsors and helps out MMA. I've seen a few games from him. He's a pretty solid player, so I'm looking forward to this matchup. So let's get into talking about the actual matchup. Looks like our Zerg player is going to try to do his early hatch. Not really such an early hatch for a Zerg player. He is scouting around with one of his probes, and his overlord is actually going to find the front entrance of Slayer's MMA first. Slayer's MMA just now sending out a probe. Let's bring out our production tab, make sure that nothing crazy is going on. The pool has just gone down. It looks like at around 16, 17 pool. So nothing too unusual, considering he's already put out his natural. Looks like it's standard play from here on out. These two are going to bump into each other, maybe give a little clue. If I was Slayer's MMA and I was watching my SEV diligently, I could have presumed that the Zerg player is in the lower right-hand corner, but, I'll be honest. The way I play, I'm just lucky to get that scout out there. So he does look like he's going to go by the Zelnaga Tower and continue on to go around, and is going to be the last scout spot. On the other hand, we have the Overlord that has already spotted the expansion of the Terran player, so it does look like both sides are looking to somewhat of a macro game. No one's doing any kind of early cheese or aggression. Our Terran player has blocked off his front door. I'm still kind of interested in what he's planning on doing. He looks like he's got one barracks. He's got two gas down, so he is going to have some kind of gas heavy play, possibly some mech play. A lot of times when you're getting that early gas and you're cranking it up and saving it up, could be an indication that he's going to do some mech play. I don't think we see enough mech play from Terran players, so I'll be happy if I see a little mech action from our Terran player, Slayer's MMA. Looks like he is going to do some scouting. He's going to see the pool. Probably nothing too unusual, considering he's already seen that Zergling try to defend. And it doesn't look like... He looks like he saw absolutely everything, so no big deal there. The thing is that there's just not a lot there to see. We do have metabolic boost coming up, so we will have speedlings coming down the rail. Got a reactor and a factory coming from our Terran player, which again, that kind of falls in line with my possible mech heavy prediction. Nothing too unusual going on right now. Usually you see a little bit of aggression from one side or another. I know when I play against Zerg, I get a little paranoid. I think I've got to put that pressure on. Otherwise, I'm going to let that Zerg machine get out of hand, because I really feel like I have a clicking clock over my head. Of course, I do play Protoss, and in the late game, it's my feeling that Protoss cannot rebuild his army as quickly as, say, a Zerg player. So once you get a Zerg player on a few bases, I get overwhelmed. Of course, I'm not the best player. Does look like we are going to have a couple Hellions that are heading out of Slayer MMA's base. Doesn't look like a full dedication to Hellions just yet. He is researching Stim, so I can assume that this will not be simply a mech army. No need to research Stim if you're planning on going all mech. Stim only works on biological troops. Got a couple Marines coming down the pipe for him, so could be a possible Marine mech play. I see a lot of that Marine Hellion play. Now those Hellions looks like they got cornered. Oh, good job on DIMAGA's side cornering those Hellions. I think they could have done a little more harassment, a little more scouting than they did. Not sure why he ran them down into that corner. Seemed like a death trap to me, and as you can see, it was. Does have 2 more Hellions out here, but it looks like they are just going to hold this DIMAGA tower for now, at least. Sending out a Zergling. Not going to go too well for that Zergling, so he will not take that DIMAGA tower. Stim is almost complete for our Terran player. Possible we might see some kind of push forward once Stim completes. Doesn't have a lot of Marines, so that could be just a defensive maneuver. It looks like we do have +1 attack coming for him, and a Baneling nest somewhere coming down the pipe for our... Let's zoom down here. Now we actually have 2 evolution chambers, so we are seeing some good upgrades coming for our Zerg player. We've got attack and Carpus just now starting. Got the Zerg wings on, which means those guys are speedlings now. I guess that's what they're called. Got a 3rd hatchery going up, so a 3rd base nestled in the corner here. Tal'Darim's altar, this 3rd base is relatively easy to keep for either side, other than this back door area, but at least it's close to home. Now it does look like we have some kind of push, mainly Marines. Stim running in, trying to take out some of the creep, and it looks like there's going to be a nice surround from the Zerglings. Banelings coming up, but I don't even know if he's going to need the Banelings. Enough Zerglings right here, and it does look like the Banelings are going to make it up to the front, but not even necessary. Not even necessary. He did pick up a few of these Marines. Looks like he might try to do a drop up here, but unfortunately, with these Zerglings up here, it's not even worth the drop. So that first real aggression from our Terran player, Slayers MMA, was thwarted by DIMAGA. Got some nice patrols going on up here. I like what Slayers MMA is doing. He's just got a few Zerglings out here doing some trolling that will prevent any kind of drop like this. And as you can see, he's easily able to handle this drop. A few more reinforcements and his patrolling units are gone, but you know, he's really done what he needed to do. He's prevented the early dropping that is occurring, that is usually occurring. Now he does have 7 Muta on the way. I did not mention it. It looked like he had a Spire running, so he has progressed into his Muta play, and I'm sure that is going to slow down, prevent, or halt altogether any of this Terran dropping that's going on. Does have 4 or 5 down here, 6 Mutas. Prevent any of that. I do like his little patrol maneuvers with his Zerglings. That's kind of well done. That's nice. Does have another Muta. I'm not sure where he's rallying to. Looks like we got a solo Muta heading over here. Now, he's probably not going to fare too well. Wow, a lot of Zerglings, Banelings. These Mutas probably do not want to go up to this army right here. They're stimming, trying to get them, but it looks like the stim is going to be wasted. These troops were dropped down, but they will be destroyed by the Mutas, and it looks like the Zerglings are coming up, and they're going to surround the siege tanks before they even get sieged up, and Banelings blow up the rest of the army. Yeah. And it does look like, what's this? Reps, oh, he's trying to do some weird damage. And it does look like the Baneling push is going to go in. There's not a lot of defenses on Slayer's MMA side. And it looks like a good game was dumped down by Slayer's MMA. Good game. I like that. That was some aggressive play on our Zergling side. Well, the Terran did some early aggression, and rightfully so. That was thwarted, and good follow-up from our Zerg. So, hey, I'm glad to be back in casting. I hope to do it a little bit more often. My work schedule's a little crazy. This is definitely not my profession or even something that I plan on doing professionally. But what I do like to do is fill my time with some good, entertaining StarCraft, whether I have to create it myself or watch it. There's some recent announcements about MLG. I went to a couple of them last year. I'm really excited about this year. More importantly so, the first real open tournament, because I guess the beginning of the winter, they're doing seasons now. Beginning of the winter season is going to be in New York. In New York, and the top 32 players are going to be invited, and it will be like a closed set situation. So I don't think I'm going to get in on that. But what I possibly will get in on is Columbus. And I'm hoping to get to that. That's probably the closest to my hometown of Detroit. So I'll get into the Voltas Mobile and head on down there. So if you're planning on going down there, or if you're in the area, give me a call, give me a message, leave a comment. Again, I'm still figuring out how to do all this stuff, so if you have any constructive criticism or feedback, feel free to leave it in the comments. If you liked what you seen, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you want to keep track of when I actually do publish new replays, please subscribe. Anyway, thanks for watching.